What's up everybody, Steve here. Today I'm going to walk you through searching for a mobile home park investment property on LoopNet. I am actually looking for a buddy of mine, a client that's interested in adding to his portfolio. I'm going to bring you through and maybe you guys can get some tips out of this as well if you guys are investing in mobile home parks. And also I'll talk a little bit about also mobile home park investing. If you don't have any money or you have very little money to invest, we'll dive into that as well. So let's go ahead and check this out. You can set up a free account on LoopNet. LoopNet is basically one of the largest search engines for commercial real estate. So it costs you nothing to jump in here and start searching around. The first thing is real estate for sale, so we can separate that. Then I'm going to come up here to property type, and I know there's both multifamily and residential income. Multifamily is going to break it apart from the different types of multifamily. I'm going to choose mobile home park here. When I'm searching all multifamily real estate, income producing real estate, I search basically, I'll click this and it'll search all of these, and I'll click residential income so I can see a full picture of everything that's available for sale. And then obviously you can create more filters in terms of units, price point, and so forth. But as you can see, he wants to invest in the state of Florida. There's not a whole lot of inventory, as you can see, for mobile home parks in the state of Florida. So we're just going to browse through this. And also, I'm going to show you guys some tips that might help you out if you guys are doing your own searches as well. Actually, that's interesting. I actually sold this park several years back. Wow, they're asking $1.65 million for this thing. Huh. Interesting. This is a mobile home park in the Fort Myers area. It is all park-owned structures. Well, it was at the time. I did another video as well on the difference between park-owned structures as well as lot rent. So you guys want to check that out, because there are two different types of parks, or a combination of both. You guys can dive into that for further detail. Let's go over here, Nokomis. It's 11 units. I'm looking for pretty much anything that's 20 units or more for this gentleman. It's 13. Oops. Did not want to click on that. If you do click on it, it opens up into a separate tab, which is cool. Winter Haven. Winter Haven has a lot of mobile home parks. 1849. All right, so we got a 20 unit mobile home park. I'll click on this. It'll open up into a separate tab, which is nice, so you don't have to keep clicking back. I can tell you, I already like the property itself because it is on the water. That's nice because you can always create additional revenue from boat dockage. And, you know, the future land value of this could, I've seen other people who basically buy mobile home parks on the water. It's kind of a land bank situation where they generate revenue over the years, and then eventually the highest and best use is something else. Sometimes it could be an actual single-family home community, or apartment buildings or townhomes for individual sales. It looks like there is a lumber yard behind it, so that could be a detriment for the people that are living here. It could be pretty loud if they're cutting and shaving down wood. Let's go into, and also I'm also looking for value add. So I'm looking at this right here, and it looks like there's some vacant land right here. Now we're gonna have to, and over here as well. So we're gonna have to dive in, and maybe even over here right on the water, unless there's certain setbacks from the water over here. But we're gonna have to dive into this more, because if we're able to put, say, 1, 2, 3 additional mobile homes here, another one here, 4, and then maybe 5, 6, but at least 4 more, there's value add, where if there's the potential to bring in more mobile homes, then obviously that's going to create opportunity for increasing revenue for this mobile home park. So that could be interesting, but I don't know if, there's other things that this land could be used for, whether that's for sewer systems, for lift stations, for septic tanks. So you just don't know just by looking at the naked eye. So we're going to have to dive more into this. Hey, real quick, if you guys are getting value out of this, please help me out and hit the like button. Lakefront Mobile Home Park, great investment. All homes currently leased. Lot 17 is lot rent only. Okay, so lot 17, whatever lot that is, let's say it's this one right here. That means that the owner or the tenant actually owns the structure. Those are the preferred mobile home parks that I like because you don't own the structures. You don't have to fix a leaky toilet. You don't have to fix, anything associated with the structure you don't deal with, which is fantastic. And the tenants own the structures. And a lot of times when they own the structures, they stay there for a long period of time because the cost to actually move the structure is way more expensive than the actual cost of the structure itself in many cases. And in many cases, those tenants will have to sell the structure, and then the new buyer buys the structure and then assumes the lot rent lease. Now, as an investor owning the whole park, now this one only has one lot rent. The rest of them, so I guess there's total 20, so 19 of them are called park owned, meaning the investor actually owns 19 of the structures. Now, I've seen some investors come into mobile home parks and they'll fix up the structures and they'll fix them up as tenants move out, and they'll try to sell the actual structures. So they'll fix them up a little bit, sell the structures. Or if you take a look at that other video that I did, buying mobile homes with no money, that goes into more detail as a smaller investor coming in and actually buying the structures from the investor of the mobile home park, and how you can create a win-win situation and create revenue from owning the structures and then leasing those out. So a lot of times the investors will come in, they'll buy the entire park, and then they will start selling these structures off because they just want to collect lot rent and not deal with the structures. So if you guys are in a position where you don't necessarily have a whole lot of money, you want to break into investing in mobile home parks, definitely take a look at that video next, because that will break down exactly how to go about buying these mobile homes very cheap or with no money. All right, so it's showing a gross rental income of $110,000. They're asking $1.15 million. Right off the bat, that doesn't seem like the best return. And they're not showing net operating income per LoopNet right here, which kind of sucks. So if we take 110,000. Just quick math, I don't. There's an attachment here that we'll go into, but 110,000. Let's say operating expenses are 35%, so I'm going to take 65%. Just doing rough math, that would give us a $71,500 net operating income. If we divide that by 1150, $1,150,000 or $1,150,000. That would give a cap rate of 6.2%. That's not a great cap rate in any sense. So, if there was a lot of value add, and don't get me wrong, when I'm looking at these parks, if it shows a very low cap rate, I'm not going to search by cap rate. Cap rate is net operating income divided by purchase price. I'm not going to just search by a higher cap rate, because you can find some gems that have a very low cap rate if there's value add, and that value add could be, the mobile homes are just not leased out. There's opportunity for adding more mobile homes to the property. So you always want to kind of pay attention to see if there's any value add. So they don't have the breakdown. See, the price per unit, $57,500. I don't think that's a great price per unit. It seems a little steep. And also, let me touch on this too. You know, coming in the market that we're in now with inflation, maybe we see hyperinflation, maybe we see a recession or depression. Mobile home parks traditionally have always done really well because the expenses, for one thing, the expenses associated with the mobile homes, they're less expensive than if you were to have fixed structures like an apartment complex. So usually you have a higher return with mobile home parks because there's really many times there's no fixed structures. It does look like this structure here and that one there might be actual like single family or duplexes right there. I'm not too sure. Yeah, if you can look over here, that might be a double wide mobile home. I don't know. Those could be single family, or that could be a double wide as well. I'm not 100% sure. But if you don't have fixed structures, it's less on insurance, it's less on taxes. So that is something to check out. So anyway, let's scroll down a little bit before we click on the attachment. Year built 1950. I'm sure a lot of these structures are super old. It gives a breakdown of, doesn't even give a full breakdown. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, it does. Okay, so 3 of the units are 3 bed, 1 bath. 2 of the units are 2-2. 7 of the units are 2-1. 6 of the units are 3-2. This must be a studio of some sort. Let's just get an idea of the. Okay, so up here, I'm not sure. This looks like it might be a higher drag, a higher traffic road. So even these front parcels, you know, you have to check with the county, but this could potentially be, you might be able to do a lot split and split this section off and rezone it to commercial. If there was a demand there, you know, maybe a convenience store of some sort. But, you know, I always want to look for that too, the highest and best use of a property. I don't know what this property is over here, but let's take a look at some more pictures. I do, again, like that it's on the water. That is cool. I do want to find out if it almost looks like this is blocked off over here. So really not sure what that's all about. Doesn't say. Yeah, look at some guy's got a boat here. I mean, that's pretty cool. You can, you know, build additional dockage most likely. This looks like it's just a water retention area over here. I don't know what this is, but it's, I gotta look at the aerial. Oh, it looks like a public boat launch. That's what it looks like. Okay, that's interesting. That's good to know too, because if this is a public boat launch, then you have probably a deep dredged canal right here that you can jump over and get your boat out. Yeah, I can't tell if that's a double wide or a single family or a duplex. So I always like to go into the satellite view, zoom in. So it's called Lake Ship. So I'd probably do some additional research on these different lakes. I know this area too where it's kind of cool. A lot of these lakes out here, they have seaplanes, and you know, there's a lot of big houses on these lakes as well. So again, I'm looking at highest and best use in some cases. Okay, it's right off of 17. Looks like you got some baseball fields over here. Also looking, you know, what's around it. If there's any, you know, it looks like you do have public transportation right here, which is great. But I want to do, you know, I'll usually get on another Google map and check things out too to see what's in the immediate area. If there's grocery stores, restaurants, etc. Yeah, it does look like this is a boat launch here, which is cool. Also, in some cases too, if there was another, you know, this is some sort of lumber yard, but if there were other mobile home parks directly next door, it could be opportunity too to, if you do acquire one, to contact the owners of the mobile home park next door and see if they had interest in selling as well, and then you can kind of grow your portfolio there. All right, let's click on the wow, this is really bad. So this is what you don't want to do if you're selling a mobile home park. I mean, this is just laziness. Whenever you're putting together, any income producing real estate for sale, you want to break it down and have take all this and type it up. So I'm looking, it shows annual income of $149,000 right here. But if we go to right here, it's showing $110,000, so there's some discrepancies there. Okay, it shows the lot rent, so we'll kind of have to go through every one of these to figure out. Okay, there's lot rent, or lot 17, lot rent only, does not own home. I'm assuming that's the investor does not own the home. Okay, 21, 22 are a duplex. So that was a duplex, that's cool. So that accounts for that 1 bed, 1 bath. 24 and 25 show block apartments, so that's maybe like another kind of duplex. Okay, so they do have kind of a expense column here. Again, we'd have to just put our own math together on this thing to get a better idea and to figure out if this is really the net operating income. I'm not going to do that right now because, just to save time. A couple things that stand out to me on this. For one thing, water is included for all tenants. I don't like that. I prefer separately metered because water can be very expensive. So I would figure out the cost to actually do that, to separately meter if somebody were to move forward with this mobile home park. Garbage $3,700 a year. Utilities, water and electric $8,800. So like even that. If the tenants are paying their own electric bill, the majority of this is probably water. There's probably electric for, the ground, some light posts and everything, but majority of that's got to be water. So that's a huge expense column that you should figure out how to pass back to the tenant. Insurance $5,000, repairs $11,000, permits $900. Again, if you're an investor and it's all lot rent, and you don't own the structures, then this repair column is pretty much going to be eliminated. Okay, so this makes sense. Lot 12, 13, 14 is the drain field. The drain field is what basically comes off of your septic tank. And then lot 20 and 21 is a lift station. So unless you guys were to connect to, well, it's got a lift station, so it's lifting the sewage into city water, I assume. So maybe this is an old drain field that could be, if it's not in use, could be, if that thing was previously unwell and septic, and the septic is no longer in use, could you guys abolish that septic tank and drain field and actually put 3 more mobile homes on this thing? So there's a lot of unanswered questions on this. Let me see if I can find anything else that I would have questions. Basically, there's a lot of unanswered questions for this property. What I would do is write all these questions down, and then I would start making calls to this listing agent, Chrissy over here, to find out if she could be more useful. Unfortunately, a lot of real estate agents, especially commercial real estate agents, they have a hard time at getting back to you, especially in a timely manner. Some commercial real estate agents want to sell the property on their own and collect both sides of the commission. So you could always say you're not working with a real estate agent to incentivize them to reach out to you. But at the same time, it's kind of a double-edged sword not having representation from a real estate agent that kind of knows what they're doing in this arena for mobile home park investing. I don't know if it's worth putting boots on the ground and actually looking at this property. Again, I do like that it's on the lake, and but it just depends on really just depends on what this lady comes back with, some of these unanswered questions. Be sure that you guys check out the one video that I have on the difference between lot rent and park own, because that's really going to help you guys out digest some of this information if you guys are buying mobile home parks. And again, if you have no money or little money, you want to check out the other video that I did on buying mobile homes with no money, and it'll really show you how to get into these kind of mobile home parks, develop a relationship with the managers or the owners to pick up mobile homes on the cheap, fix them up a little bit, put them on the market for rent, and collect that spread. I appreciate every subscriber on this channel. I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks a lot.